him stealing her clothes because she would hide his clothes so he couldn't go out to the bar, and he would just put on a dress and go to the bar.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
He said he would show up at the bar and in a dress and all, and they'd be like, "No, that club is down the street. Hey, you don't come to this one."
Hey, blast off, I can talk my ass off. Hey, smoke you what you seen and I'll tell you what I saw. Hollywood, what you think and I'll tell you what I thought. And we can talk about it all when we here on Trash Talk. Hey.
What's going on, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Trash Talkers Podcast.
We made it.
We made it, Sean.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Not much, man. Another week, man. They just fly by.
You know, man, last week, dude, it was I don't know if strenuous would be the word to use, but it was
strenuous.
What does strenuous mean exactly? Just
straining, like it's just difficult.
Yeah, I mean, last week for me, dude, was like I had to go help my mom with some stuff. I had a whole bunch of things to do outside of what we do here.
Yeah.
And but this past weekend I was able to just come home and relax. So
relax. There's nothing better than just relax.
Just chill, man. I mean,
especially in this heat.
Oh my God, dude.
It makes you want to just crank the AC down and just lay in your boxers and
just dude, I swear, sometimes it'd be so hot. I just walk in the house and I'm just just completely unrolled.
That's what I do, man. When I get all sweaty, like cutting the grass or something, I'll be soaked from head to toe, and I just come in and just take it off.
Oh yeah, just sit on the couch,
laid back, nothing on, just oh God.
Man,
then the neighbor walks in without knocking. I'm like, bro, it's your fault.
What do you do then?
I like try to, like the little leaf, I'll get up and it's got the little leaf sitting right there.
In Georgia, you walk in somebody's house, you know exactly what's going to happen to them.
Oh, yeah.
You know exactly what's going to happen to them.
You get in some trouble.
Man, what do you think? Can we talk about that for a second?
What's that?
About, you don't have to have a permit or they don't do a background check anymore, and you can get one at like 18 now.
Yeah. Some states have the stand your ground law too.
Georgia has it.
Yeah. I mean, the big case was in Florida a few years back. Remember that?
Florida, man.
Yeah. It's different too when somebody walks in your house, but some states have it where you can meet the guy on the street, and if he's being the aggressor, then you have all the right under that state law to shoot him.
Yeah, I mean, but wait, yeah, it's just weird that because when we were growing up, you had to, I guess. You had to take a test and you had to show that you were capable of carrying something of deadly force,
Yeah.
And now it's like, hey, you want one? Here you go.
Well, in most states, they still have that in place, but there are loopholes in the law where you could go grab one from a gun show or things like that.
Pawn shops.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Yeah, it's a touchy subject these days, I'll tell you that.
It is, man. Before we hop in, we're going to read, we started off, we're going to read the top 3 comments from the last podcast. And guys, thank you so much for the reception. So, top 3 comments from our last podcast is from Adam S. He says, I watch everything you guys put out. You had me hooked since day one. Respect.
Yeah, Adam.
Shout out, Adam. Number 2 was Johnny MG85. Shout out, Johnny.
Yeah.
In terms of music scenes, the UK has a claim. From the UK, you have the Beatles, Pink Floyd, Black Sabbath, Muse, The Who, and the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Just to name a few. And the third comment was Amber Piercy. Shout out, Amber. Another great one, guys. Half of the festivals I haven't heard of. So very interesting. I'd love to go to all of them. I hope to go to Burning Man too. Actually, seriously contemplating going back to school more than once with the goal of putting on my own music festival someday, but I always talk myself out of it. I'd rather just be a patron. Shout out, Amber,
man, that would be awesome though. If you actually had the nerve to go through and set it up though, I'm sure it would be, you'd be nervous the whole time, and it would be really strenuous, use a word callback. But after it's all done and you know that it went off successful.
What do you mean? Like
just the feeling of accomplishment.
What do you mean, like starting up your own music?
A festival. Like if you can run a whole festival, I think it's probably a difficult thing to make money off of, like
Well,
because some people lose money putting on festivals.
That's what I'm saying. You have to. It takes a lot of money, dude.
But if you can do it successfully, like the feeling of accomplishment has to be awesome.
yeah, I mean, the feeling of accomplishment on anything you do feels great. It's like,
Yeah.
Like I can't. We were watching some reaction video, and it was when we did Heart, and it was she was doing Stairway to Heaven,
Yeah.
and I was like, man, that's just like, it's just proud. It's like seeing your
Yeah.
kid like accomplish something. He's like,
Yeah,
oh,
and you see Paige and Plan up there watching.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
man, I went back to watch that reaction. And guys, if y'all haven't checked that out, go check it out. But you could just see them like holding their tears back, just like,
Oh
man,
yeah,
it's beautiful.
so
dude.
great.
It was, man.
Mm-hmm.
But today, man, let's talk about a few of some of the most just iconic, not even iconic, craziest or
The wild and
wildest, influential people of music or metal.
Yeah, we have a list. We're actually going to do this over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
We'll run through a few each week until we get to the most crazy and wild
my God.
artists of all time.
Yeah.
A lot of people could probably already guess who's going to be number one, but we'll start down at the
Yeah.
bottom of the list and work our way up, and we'll get into the first three today.
100%. Now, I actually want you to do the first one because
Okay.
I've got questions about the first person. On number 15 is there a name for this at all? Like,
Well, the official name is the 15 most insane musicians of all time.
all right, so let's start at who's our first contestant today?
The first one today, we actually had a conversation
first
about her.
podcast is
Yeah,
about her.
It is Courtney Love.
Now, I know there's going to be a synopsis to it.
Yeah.
But, well, if this is... Okay, if she's at the very bottom of the list, maybe I can see why. Because I can think of some people that are just, like, out there,
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
don't really see her, but...
I mean, I'm sure she's made some remarks in the past that put her on this list. Actually, I'll give you the synopsis here. She's often the butt of the jokes and makeup of the tail end of this list, being equal parts Yoko and Paris Hilton.
Oh,
wow.
God.
That's quite a comparison there. Yoko Ono and Paris
Paris
Hilton.
Hilton.
Unfortunately, for her career as a musician, most of her antics and depravity happened off stage. Kurt Cobain's widow has no shortage of crazy stories, sometimes splashing her messy life all over the cameras. I think that's what it is. You think about like Paris Hilton. She was, what was she, the heir to the Hilton hotel chain or whatever, but she became in the public light for just being a wild and crazy young person.
Right.
That.
Well, I think she was a very attractive woman too, know. And then the sex tape that came out. So.
Yeah, and you can say what you want about her attractiveness, but I think that also played a part for Courtney Love.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the way things went down over the years, people tend to see her in a different light.
Yeah.
But in her younger days, she was an attractive lady.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that your life can alter just by, some of the things you did, growing up to become an adult. Like, she probably was just a good old girl in school, nice.
Yeah, maybe so.
And I mean, in the synopsis, it didn't really like say if she like what makes her one of an insane, other than we know the Kurt Cobain story.
Yeah.
I mean,
it says, yes, this chick is crazy enough to try to upstage Madonna.
oh wow.
Wow, I'm wondering.
Hold on, yeah, keep going.
Love has no shortage of mythology behind her herself, trailing all the way back to age four. So maybe that kind of goes against what you were saying.
Go to this. Oh my God! At age 4, she was given a hit of acid.
Wow.
Wowzers!
Well, that
by
could tend
her
to do
own
it.
father.
That could do it right there.
Why?
It is a deadly thing. Well, I mean, I guess you can't say deadly, but it is a altering thing
To a child's
for
mind.
a child's brain who hasn't been developed yet, who hasn't reached adulthood, to be giving any kind of narcotics, really. Like
What?
anything that, especially a mind-altering substance, like a hallucinogen.
Yes, dude. I mean, at the age of,
my God.
I mean, what in the hillbilly and haberdashery was going on in that house? I mean, think about this, bro. A 4-year-old child. I'm gonna give you one of the strongest. a very strong hallucinogen.
Yeah.
Hallucinogen at the age 4. You want to go like she's like, Dad, I'm fine just coloring without it. Let me give you this and now go color. I mean, and just think about growing up like that. That has to mess with her cycle. Her psyche. Her psyche.
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn.
Any kid, you do that too. I mean,
Why her dad should be arrested for that, dude?
oh, nowadays he would have been.
You don't think?
I don't know.
You don't think? You don't think he would have been arrested back then?
Well, yeah, he should have been, but it was easier to get away with things like that back then.
Giving your 4-year-old child.
Dude, I'm telling you, like back in the day, like she probably grew up in the 70s. You know, back then a kid would go to school and be like, "Yeah, I got beat by my parents this weekend for doing blah blah blah," and they're like, "Well, you shouldn't have done that."
Well,
Nowadays, you like, I got a spanking for leaving the door open, and the child services are going to be at your house.
Well, we grew up different, man.
Exactly. That's
I
what
mean-
I'm saying. It was a different time.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, he probably would have been in jail for quite some time for doing
Oh,
that.
hey, dude. I'm sorry. You.
I don't know if she ever shared the story with the teachers or whatever, but it also says that bad plastic surgery, being shunned from the music industry, being blamed by Sharon Osbourne for
What?
introducing Little Jack to
Oh,
drugs.
Jack. That's Sharon Osbourne and Ozzy's son.
Ah, yeah, Jack Osbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love can still seem to get
Wait a minute.
break.
We're going. Wait a minute. So. Think about the cycle. Her father gave her acid at 4.
Yeah.
She was. I'm sure. Courtney Love was much older than Jack Osbourne.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Hey, my dad just did this to me. I'm gonna give it to you." You know, it's like.
I wonder how old he was.
I mean.
I mean,
You know
either
what?
way, it's an underage kid. If you give some illegal substance to anyone, it's a crime. But
Yeah.
to an underage kid, like,
But that shows you
that's the cycle. yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. It's like when you see kids, like child abuse kids,
Yeah.
they tend to grow up to get into abusive
Yes.
relationships, and they tend to abuse their own children in the
Yes,
end.
yes.
It's just a cycle. It's a vicious cycle that's really hard to break. Some people have the brain to break that cycle, but some people do not.
All right. So this may be a dumb question. Is Courtney Love, is she still with us?
Yes.
Okay. So with the bad plastic surgery you had brought up, you know, I mean,
And that goes back to, she was a lovely young lady at some point.
dude,
but
you know, a lot of women do that. It's like you were so beautiful.
Oh, I know.
But why did you?
and it's hard to tell someone because it's up to everyone to have their own standard
Yes,
of beauty.
100%.
And if you think it looks good, then that's great. You know, some
100%.
people don't think tattoos look great. Some people think they're beautiful, So, your grandma will tell you how good they
yeah.
look. I'll tell you that.
100%. My mom actually loves my tattoos, man.
Yeah, what about your grandma? Did
She ain't
pass?
seen them yet.
Oh, she's still alive?
Yeah, of course she
Oh,
is.
okay.
But I just try to wear long sleeve shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, she did. She saw these.
Yeah.
Grandma don't care.
Really?
Grandma cool, bro.
Some grandparents would. If you go back to like the boomers and the silent generation, the depression era kids, they didn't have tattoos.
Nah.
Like only the bad people got tattoos back then.
Yeah.
You were either in the military or you were a bad person.
My grandma was like, I hope those are stickers. And that's the grandma on the black side. Grandma on the black side, she was like, I hope those must be stickers. But the grandma on the other white side, you can't understand a word she says at all.
Oh really?
She's an immigrant from Ireland
Yeah,
with that
yeah.
southern. Man, I gotta introduce you to grandma, bro. When she get drunk, I'm like, all right, grandma. All right.
Reminds me of that one clip. They had this the old drunk Irish guy, and they were talking to him about his hometown. It went viral because you could not understand
Oh,
the
I think
word.
I
The
do
guys-
remember.
I think it was Clarny was the name of the town.
I think so. Yeah.
They were like, well, so what do you think about living in Clarny? Oh, Clarny? That's like,
That's my grandma,
what
dude.
did you say?
It just put some southern in there. Man,
Yeah.
it's crazy. I don't know, man. But yeah, she's definitely going off of what you just read. That's definitely
Yeah,
interesting.
and the thing with Kurt, that's why she made this list. You know.
Well, the giving acid at 4, that's.
Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
you had said it might have been the norm because think about it, dude. There was one time where Coca-Cola had cocaine.
Yeah.
That was normal. Or like
Yeah.
back in the day, codeine cough syrup. You just give your kids.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah,
I mean,
you give it to them for a cough. Yeah.
Man, the times have changed, dude.
Times have really changed, man.
All right, so next person we got on this list, and I know very little about this guy. It's Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
I know very little about him.
I don't really know that much about him either. I mean, I know the guy's face. When you see him, you realize that's Alice Cooper. Icon in the music industry. We haven't really covered his music, which we need to get into for this Halloween.
What band?
Alice Cooper.
That's the name of the band?
Yeah, that was the band. Yeah.
All right. What were you saying, though?
Well, I mean, he's iconic. Like, you know, the man, I think the first time I ever saw him, I was watching, like, replays of old WWE. And he came out for the entrance with Jake the Snake one time.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah, like a WrestleMania or something.
See, I feel like, you know, the spitting out blood that Gene Simmons does?
Yeah.
For some reason, I want to say I saw Alice Cooper probably do that first, or something similar to that, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There was it wasn't him that, like, bit the head off of a bat first or something, was it?
Oh, I mean, they said
before Ozzy?
Before you might be right. So let me read real quick what we got on
definitely.
here. So it says, yeah, he's one of the original rock and roll bad boys. Admittedly aiming to become music's Darth Vader. He saw a need for a dark Elvis in the world of rock and roll and quickly gained support from Subverse lounge singer and village idiot Jim Morrison. Wow. Why would he be a subversive lounge singer and a village idiot?
Wow.
Man.
Well, I mean, there is the element of the lounge singer thing. I see where that's coming from. Yeah,
I can see that.
I don't know why they would call him the village idiot.
I don't know. But continuing on here, it says he's a pioneer of Subverse frontman, but his triads haven't aged well. His biggest claim to fame was, oh my God, a chicken he reportedly threw into a crowd being ripped apart.
Oh, that might be the story that I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Throwing a chicken.
Yeah.
Dude. See, like, when we, like, you know, maybe 2, maybe 3, 4 podcasts from now, these are just, like, you know, at the very bottom. Who knows what's going to be a number, like, when we get to the...
Yeah, exactly.
That's just going to be crazy.
Yeah.
But it also said Frank Zappa ran the band's label at the time and phoned in the next day asking, did you kill the chicken on stage? Dennis told Zappa, no, Zappa corrected him. Well, don't tell anybody. Everybody loves it. You are the most notorious character of all time now. That title would last for years until young blood dripped into the mix. His most unexpected move was without a doubt taking up golf.
Golf?
No, golf. Like
golf?
Golf.
Oh, golf.
Ford.
Oh, really?
So he went from throwing chickens in the crowds to being a phenomenal golfer.
Wow. Well, I mean, everybody gets old at some point. Like, sometimes you want to do what old people do.
Yeah.
I guess golf has become like a young guy's sport these
100%,
days. You know?
dude.
There's young people into it. But when we were kids, you thought of like, what was Jack Nicholson or those guys?
Tiger
like,
Woods.
Well, yeah. Tiger Woods was young too,
young,
though. Yeah. I mean, he's an older man now,
but when we were kids, we looked at golf as, you know, you retiring.
Yeah,
you know.
like, you know what? There's no kid in school, but like, I want to be a professional golfer.
Shoot, there's this guy on TikTok, you know, maybe early 20s, you know, but he's like all the traditional people out there playing golf, you know, they're holding it right. And
and he does the Adam Sandler thing.
He like grabs it and swings.
He swings it around, pow!
And they're like, that's not how you hit the ball, but he's like, pow!
And it just goes a mile.
Yeah, kills it. No, but as far as Alice Cooper, man, can you throw a chicken into the crowd these days? Absolutely not.
No. Somebody's gonna, maybe the FDA or something will come after you.
PETA's definitely gonna be on you.
Oh, PETA will be all over you. Yeah. Man, even speaking of that, like, I think PETA had a backlash for Jake the Snake for
No, bring the snake.
Yeah, for lugging the snake around, because he got rough with it sometimes. He actually admitted sometimes to when he wanted to pull the snake out and make it seem mean, he would slap the hell out of it, man, and just like beat it up to get it mad. And PETA will be all over you for that these days.
Yeah, that's not cool at all.
Yeah,
that's not cool at all. I mean, I'll never forget the image of him and Macho Man Randy Savage. And that is one. Of the most
when he bit him on the bicep.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and that's what he did. He slapped him around to make sure he was ready to bite.
I heard a story that behind stage, Macho Man was like, "Man, you sure that thing? I gotta see him bite you first."
Yeah, he made him bite himself first.
Like, that's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
He's like, well, some people might want to take the Macho Man's spot, so maybe it's a venomous snake.
I need to see it bite you first.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and shout out to Macho Man for that, man, because it takes a lot of kahunas to.
Oh, he had wrestlers because he would be backstage messing with somebody that was afraid of snakes. They'd pull guns on him and stuff. Like, you come over here with that thing.
That's you.
Do it.
That would be you. That would be
Yeah.
you would. That would be you to do that.
Yeah.
Nah, man, but again, throwing chickens in the crowd. Again, this was a different time. This was a different.
Yeah. I mean, Ozzy couldn't do the bat thing these days.
Nah, but there's, all right, so.
And that was an accident anyway, because he was he had live bats there,
a-
but he also had the fake bats that he would bite the heads off of.
So I think so. All right. So the last person on this list is, in fact,
Ozzy. Well, that leads right into it. Yeah.
So real quick, if I could just do this.
All right.
So it says biting the head off of a live bat.
Yeah.
Urinating on the Alamo, having a hand in bringing Kelly and Jack Osbourne into this world. These are just a few of the atrocities.
Having two kids put them on this list.
That is messed up, dude.
Wow.
Committed both on and off the stage. His days with Black Sabbath yielded the music and legendary Iommi generated riffs, which paved the way for bands like Metallica, Kiss, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, and Black Flag. By the way, we do need to do some more Kiss, and I don't think we've ever done Black Flag.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Real quick, he says Ozzy will go down in history for his offstage antics, like snorting ants with Nikki Sixx.
Now that's
kind of gangster. I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of gangster, bro.
Because you hear about like the old gangsters like swallowing bullets or snorting gunpowder or something. Ozzy was just built different,
dude. I mean,
he's probably like, well, we don't have any more stuff.
Oh, dude, well,
You won't snort an ant.
Line them up. Oh, they're already in the line.
They're already lined up.
Let them come up your nose. That's awesome. Nah, dude. Steve-O, didn't he? Oh, he snorted wasn't it like cayenne pepper or something?
Oh, and I've seen people try that before.
Bro, true story. I knew this guy, the dude that you made cry.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
True.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I know, man. Anyway, we won't talk about that.
Yeah.
But you know how like in springtime it's so much pollen.
Yeah.
I was like, I bet you won't.
Oh god.
He did a whole line of pollen. I'm talking about a rail, like.
Dude, did it mess his sinuses up?
I mean, he sneezed immediately afterwards.
I would hope he's not allergic.
I think, man, just the things we did as kids.
Oh,
man.
I know, yeah.
Man,
the things we did to entertain ourselves.
I bet you won't snort that line of pollen. Watch me do it.
Watch this,
man.
And you don't want to do it, but everybody's like, "Bet you won't."
Okay,
I bet I will.
Exactly. Real quick, going a little bit more on Ozzy right here. It says, so yeah, snorting the line. Another crowning achievement in his performance mode was biting the head off of a live bat, which he thought was fake at the time. So he says a Mirror article reported that Ozzy said in his trademark unintelligible way, immediately something felt wrong, very wrong. For a start, my mouth was instantly full of this warm, gloopy liquid with the worst aftertaste you could ever imagine. I could feel it staining my teeth and running down my chin. Then the head in my mouth twitched.
Oh God!
We can talk about that.
Could you imagine that feeling?
Well, he didn't think it was real.
No, he thought it was one of the fake ones that they had. That was part of his act.
And you've seen the picture.
Somehow he got a hold of a live one.
You seen the? First of all, was there live bats actually there?
Yeah, I think they also used live ones for whatever purpose, to have them fly around the crowd to look cool or something.
You could not get away with that nowadays.
No, that's another case where Pete is going to show up.
I mean, just
the things that the shock rockers did. Most of it's just to make your parents mad, to tell you the truth.
Would you say like Alice Cooper and Ozzy are shock rockers?
For the time, yeah. I mean, there were worse to come along, Gwar and things like that, But for the time, yes. I mean, you wouldn't have. like if you were listening to Ozzy, you'd be like, wow, this is the invention of metal, or if they were even calling it that at the time, you wouldn't have said, well, this is shock rock. But people were starting to realize, like, this is shocking, the things they're doing. Like, this guy is just peeing on the wall at the Alamo.
He peed on that.
Like, is that not shocking, especially for that time period?
See, my thing is, do we call it shock rock though, or do we just call it being?
I think
on
shock
drugs?
rock eventually grew into its own thing, like its own genre.
I think it was just drugs, bro.
Well, of course it was. I mean, I wouldn't say of course it was. These guys had a propensity to do crazy things before the drugs, but that definitely sets it off. And you get a little bit of notoriety from doing something crazy. Think about Jackass. Like, you do something crazy and you realize these people are eating it up. I'm making a lot of money off doing something crazy. I'm going to do more crazy things.
That's a good point.
I'm going to shock these people a little more. Watch it. I'll walk out naked next time.
Dude, you think Ozzy has ever done that?
I bet he has.
I bet everyone on man.
That was a thing in the 70s, I feel like.
Just,
yeah. It's like, if the parents are mad at you, just walk out naked.
That's it. Why do you think there was so much rebellion against parents? Like, what was that about?
It sold albums, man. When the kids got into you and the parents hated you, the kids wanted those albums that much more.
Wow.
That's the Satanic Panic, man.
Man.
I mean, and you play into that. Think about it. Marilyn Manson had protesters come to his show. I'm sure Ozzy did too.
I'm sure.
I'm sure there would be like churches show up to protest his shows.
So, all right. So the first,
and that made the kids want that even more,
right?
Because you're young and rebellious, and you want to do what the man tells you not to do.
So you saying protesters showing up at like the aforementioned Alice Cooper,
yeah,
Ozzy. Do you think any protesters showed up at a Courtney Love at a hole?
Maybe. I don't feel like she was more that shocking, that Westboro had to show up and say something. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of Nirvana fans might show up to her stuff.
And protest there.
I think so.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
I don't know, man. It's I'm interested to check out because if these are just top or bottom three, if Ozzy's listed as one of the bottom, dude, imagine what the top 5's gonna look like.
Oh, I know.
I mean, and guys,
and just to touch on that a little more, Ozzy, he probably had a lot of churches show up, and anybody who makes it that big, especially during that time period, got labeled as satanic. No matter what you sang about. And Ozzy played right into it. Yeah. He was like, I'm the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah. I wonder if
Ozzy was doing it to make more people mad.
I wonder if he gave himself that name, or did somebody else say, hey, he's the Prince of Darkness?
He rolled with it if he did. If somebody else did it.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. And I know I've showed you, but the video Under the Graveyard, it showed him like going, and again, shout out to Sharon, dude, because it showed him like having parties.
She's the reason he's still alive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if y'all haven't seen that video, go check that out, man, because this guy, I mean, many women, many drugs, many alcohol, every night, until you go through those withdrawals, go through that sickness, and then the one lady that loves you and says she comes over, pours all your beer out, pours all your liquor out, throws your pills down the trash, does all that, bathes you, feeds you, that.
Because the groupies, like, fans are great. It's great to have fans.
Yes.
But when you're in a hotel room going through withdrawals and you're not at your best, they're not going to be there.
They don't care. No.
They're there for the party.
Well, you're talking specifically groupies.
Groupies, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's one thing. There's probably a lot of fans that just love the man and would have helped him through it. But the groupies, the ones that are there just for the party, they're not going to be there doing the withdrawals.
So the height of our, when we ran Covington and Controversy Music, we've had our share of groupies, right?
Yeah.
Now, since we haven't, I can say, and I'm sure you probably can relate, but I can say that, back then when I was doing crazy stuff, I still have people in my life now to where if I needed their help, even though they were groupies back then, they would.
There's definitely that element.
Yeah.
But there's also the ones because we went through some tough times and they weren't there anymore.
Like, there's a few people, like, not day one. There's only, like, 3 people I really, I can consider call a friend. But I know if I call and say, hey, yeah, we used to be like this back in the day, but I need a ride to the gas station. You know, like, sure, I'll give you a ride instead of.
There's definitely ones out there for sure.
Yeah.
And Sharon was just that savior for him at that time.
It's so crazy. They've been together for 742 years, and it's like, why'd y'all break up, man?
Oh well, I think he's just a handful. At some point, I mean, she still cares for him, obviously.
I'm sure.
You know, and still helps him out. But
dude, Sharon's got talk shows.
She's a mogul, man. She is a businesswoman. Like, she worked her way through the industry.
You see, man, just being nice to somebody, like, she didn't have to go help Ozzy. She didn't have to. Yeah. She didn't have to do any of that. But that just shows you, you know, what you give out, you get back. You know, she helped him out, and she's like Smokey said, she's a mogul now. You know,
and it was a handful. I mean, the
dude,
stories
you're talking about
him,
Ozzy,
him stealing her clothes because she would hide his clothes so he couldn't go out to the bar, and he would just put on a dress and go to the bar.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
He said he would show up at the bar and in a dress and all, and they'd be like, "No, that club is down the street. Hey, you don't come to this one."
That was okay. It's okay.
Nowadays it'd be fine. Like, oh, come on in.
Yeah, come on in, man.
Back then they were like, "No, that's not this kind of bar, bro. You down there."
Well, first of all, no one's turning Ozzy away from a
apparently
bar.
they tried, from what he said.
I mean, I bet there's very little things that we can name that he hasn't done. Like, hey, have you ever done this? I've done that in 1974.
Oh, everything. Yeah.
Just name it, dude.
Yeah.
You think everything, though? Like, everything?
Everything that was available back then.
Well, I'm talking about the acts, too. You think?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow, you think so?
Well, you think, he drove a Ferrari? I'm sure he did that.
No, I'm talking, you know, where I'm going. Like... anyway,
you always thinking like that.
No, I'm just saying. But if you're on the list of being some of the most,
probably had like 25 girls one night.
Well, I was going deeper than that, but
all right. Well,
yeah. Anyway,
this is YouTube.
Yeah, man. See, this is what's good about the podcast, because we sit here and just talk. Man, yeah. I was gonna ask you something about so. All of these, would you venture to say that everyone on this list, when we get down to number one, was on drugs?
I would say probably feels like 90% or more would probably be. I mean, I don't know the whole list, and I really want to save it, so it's kind of a surprise, you know, to see who else is on this list. But yeah, 95% probably. I mean, it came with the territory, especially in those days. Nowadays, you see straight edge artists out there. Yeah. You see people who start their career as straight edge artists. But back then, you know, of course, they didn't even have the scientific knowledge of knowing the dangers back then also.
Yeah, like giving your child acid at 4. That's...
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that dude probably legitimately thought it was going to, like, help her creativity or something.
Oh, he probably did. You know, because the hippies thought hallucinogens, and it can be. It can be a tool that helps you expand your mind.
I love how whenever you mention hallucinogens, the next word is usually tool. It's awesome. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so that's the reason.
That's it.
But it is a tool to help expand your mind, but it can also be very harmful, especially to a brain that hasn't developed yet.
I mean, you've heard of the stoned ape theory before, right?
Yes.
I mean, that some people chalk up the reason we are so advanced right now is because of mushrooms.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, a lot of people theorize that hallucinogens and, you know, DMT and things like that and psilocybin have actually advanced society way far beyond what it would have been in a natural period of time.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, but don't give them to a kid.
No, that's just beyond messed up.
Because the brain needs to develop. Even things like you know, certain acts and witnessing even just sexual acts and things like that can really hurt a child's psyche.
Yes, just seeing it. Mm-hmm. That's why, you know, when I was younger, I used to have a friend, and it's like his mom would not let him watch scary movies, and we might have been like 11 or 12, and I can understand now. Yeah. When I was young, like, my mom was like, go watch, I don't care, you know, entertain yourself.
Yeah.
But now it's like, maybe I see why, because it's like, your prefrontal lobe cortex is still developing, and I don't want you to see those gory things. Yeah. That's the reason why they say that, right?
Yeah, that's it.
See, I don't have kids, so I have to ask you these questions.
Anything you do, especially, you know, before your brain has developed, is imprinting on your genes. And if you have a propensity to something violent or something like that, or sexual misconduct, you know, that actually creates a neural pathway for those things to happen in your life. Because your brain hadn't developed a block yet to separate what you shouldn't do from what you should do.
When does that block arrive?
Well, I mean, that's why a lot of the 18 and 21-year-old laws were put into place, like, alcohol before 21, because the scientific data would tell us that it's really damaging. It's more damaging to an under 21-year-old than it would be for someone over 21. And those aren't, just set in stone facts, but it's a step in the right direction.
Well, could you say that it's more of a cultural thing? Because in some countries you don't have you can drink
Oh,
whatever
no,
you want.
like Germany,
Exactly.
they let kids drink,
So is it more of a cultural thing that we said, hey?
Oh, it's definitely. I mean, there's also
ooh,
the religious
think about
aspect also.
Think about it though. You said it's detrimental to give a child, any harmful substance while your brain is developing, right? And that's something implemented here in the United States of America.
Yeah.
Now, one could argue Germany, that lets their kids drink, which I'm not condoning at all, has some of the smartest people on earth.
Yeah, they do.
So
But
is it?
There's also a social standard set in place to try to ensure that society has smarter individuals.
But going off what you said, if they let their kids drink, I mean, don't you think it would make that society not as smart?
Maybe they have seen some kind of scientific evidence that they believe it's not as damaging as you would think. Maybe so.
Even like.
But I doubt they're giving 4-year-old kids.
Yeah, and I mean that's not what I'm saying. But
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, if you're at like even in like some I want to say like. Maybe like Italy or something, like even I think they even do it in the United States. Like when they go to Catholic churches, they give you red wine.
Yeah, well, traditionally, I think a lot of them actually replace it with written. No, I've been to churches where they just give you grape juice.
Yeah,
that's
what we have.
Container.
We got grape juice and oyster cracker. Yeah. But I did speak to one recently and said that at it's a Catholic private school.
And they actually do wine.
And it could be non-alcoholic.
But there's also some scientific study that a tiny amount could actually help. Yes.
So is that why they're so smart over there? Because
and they may be smart enough to know that this amount actually can do good, whereas this amount can do bad. They may control it much better also.
That is crazy, dude. I mean, if you just think about the world, dude, it's like America's so different than, and it's like, well, is our country better than your country? Is that country better than this? You gotta think about it, man. Look at the technological advances in China, in Japan.
Yeah.
Go to Germany. Look at I mean, where's Elon Musk from?
South Africa, right?
South Africa. I mean, there's so many, and then in all these places you have different traditions. You have different, cultural things that's okay to do. It's okay to give your a child to smoke a cigarette at 10. Meanwhile, we're building freaking rockets to go to the moon. But over here it's just like, you got to be 18, you got to be 21. You know what I mean? Like it's America can be kind of.
But there's also the scientific evidence that's saying that an undeveloped brain
is very bad.
It can be injured by it, yes.
But so how come you don't think other countries don't go?
Well, they
why
do.
Is that?
There's age limits in many countries.
Well, no, but why is our scientific evidence not? Why is it not universal? Why is it just to certain places? Like, why is?
Well,
Belgium?
that's the thing is we could also have a study here that says that this amount of alcohol can actually help the brain develop. Something like that. And I'm just making that up.
Yeah.
I haven't
Again, this is how me and Smokey just talk.
Yeah. But still, there's the religious aspect here.
What do you mean?
There's the religious aspect where people think, and it is kind of a double-edged sword because we have the laws, like we have religious people who believe that all alcohol is bad, but Jesus drank wine, so alcohol is okay in this tiny little dose on the Sabbath that we choose to recognize that. But like I said, like there's also some double standards there.
Yeah, I mean, think about it, dude. Marijuana is illegal.
Yeah,
it's illegal. Meanwhile,
William Randolph Hearst is the biggest reason for that.
Yes, William Randolph. But I can go up to the store, right? Like Cat Williams said, you can go up to the store and buy enough alcohol to kill me tonight.
Yeah, that's what I always hated about our drug laws, man. Is that the most deadliest drug on earth is available to everyone at any time.
If you have a headache and you take 100 Tylenols, that'll be the last headache you'll ever have.
Yeah.
I promise you.
And you know, when they try to, they'll find something new like kratom or whatever, and they start immediately trying to outlaw it to protect the pharmaceutical industry from losing profits over an all-natural drug, you know. But the alcohol kills people every single day in every single city in the world.
Drunk driving. I mean,
or well, whichever places it's legal, because I'm not even sure if like North Korea, if they're allowed to have alcohol or anything.
Anyway, but continue.
But yeah, that is crazy to think, and that's our religious aspect, but it's also the capitalist society that protects the pharmaceutical industry and things like that.
Yeah, and it's crazy. We have something called the Food and Drug Administration. You know, like this amount is okay to have, or this amount is okay, but marijuana is a Schedule 1 drug.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, again, I can go get 540 ounces and just get in my car.
Because of the smear campaign that William Randolph Hearst set in place to protect his assets in the paper
you're talking about the hemp with hemp. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, come on, dude. If we can change so many laws over this period of time, legalize it, man. Legalize it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more benefit than. Can you think of any bad things? I mean, Colorado.
Well, there's definitely
definitely have an age limit. Definitely.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to give developing brains a bunch of marijuana.
No.
But yes, an age limit would be great. There's also there are some bad aspects like short-term memory loss and things like that, and there's I can't remember the name of the syndrome that happens, but
you're
people
talking about munchies.
yeah, extreme hunger, you get fat.
Yes.
But no, there's a syndrome that people get who smoke weed every single day, and then they reach a point to like of saturation almost, to where they get nauseous and throw up constantly.
What?
After a certain amount of time. It doesn't happen to everybody, but there are people that it does happen to.
I saw this article about I read this article about why you get the munchies, and they say like you rarely see a very like a obese stoner. Like look at Snoop Dogg, skinny. Wiz Khalifa, skinny. It's like because they said it in the article. It basically raises your metabolism so high that when you get the munchies, but your body's like easily. I can't remember how it went.
I've definitely seen some chunky potheads.
Yeah, but you've seen a lot. I'm sure you've seen a lot more.
That's true. Yeah, I've seen a lot of skinny, but there's also genetics that that play a factor in that also.
Yeah. What were you about to look up?
I'm gonna look up the name of that syndrome.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I can't believe it's a Schedule 1. I don't know how we even got on this topic, but the fact that it's
because Courtney Love's dead.
Yeah, but it's the fact that it's still a Schedule 1 drug. It's this, and I know a lot of laws have loosened, and
here it is. It's cannabis hyperemesis syndrome.
Hyperemesis. It's a condition caused by long-term cannabis use. People who have CHS experience recurring episodes of nausea, vomiting, dehydration, and abdominal pain with frequent visits to the emergency department.
That is a syndrome that can happen from long-term constant marijuana use.
Right. Now you've named 3 bad things, and I'm sure we could name 3,000 beneficial.
Oh, definitely. There's a lot of benefits,
100%, man.
It should be legal. To tell you the truth. It should be.
Guys, vote for it.
Yeah.
Vote for it. Small Dog.
What up?
Let's get into some OMG.
And some WTF.
Yes. Again, guys, if you don't know, OMG is Oh My Georgia, and WTF is not what the... It's...
What the Florida?
Yes. Are we doing it again? Were you going to give me
some
stories?
Let's continue that. I'm going to give you 2 headlines, and you're going to tell me if you think this headline comes from Florida or Georgia. We're trying to settle the debate for all. Who has the craziest people, Florida or Georgia?
I'll just say Florida man's a real thing.
It is. I mean, but I think it's pretty interesting to have you guess here.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, the first headline is Man Steals Neighbor's Peacock. and gets chased by angry birds.
Okay.
And the other headline is...
You don't even need to read. I already know. You don't even need to say. Just entertain me. What is the second?
The second one is compliance officer breaks into woman's house to serve ticket for overgrown grass.
What?
Yeah, so the compliance officer,
damn.
the code enforcement,
Dude,
saw
the head of a household.
he's like, that grass is way too long. That's a
bow kicking.
poor people.
That's awesome. All right, definitely that's Georgia. That's definitely Georgia. Because, you know, my neighborhood's like that. If you leave your trash out, like your trash thing, and it's not trash, they will put your trash, like, oh,
Yeah.
God.
So they gonna come. Your grass is like this high. They just, get out here and cut this grass. I ain't playing with you no more. I told you to cut it 3 days ago.
I could just see that, like, you sitting there watching TV, and the head of household just breaks the window.
This is a no-knock compliance warrant.
And you give me a ticket. Oh my God. That's crazy.
You were absolutely right. The man stealing the peacock was from Florida.
100%.
All right, so Miami police officers are looking for a man who stole a neighbor's peacock. Yes, you read that correctly. The theft in Coconut Grove was caught on camera.
Oh, of course.
The video shows the man in a red shirt run around the home, then grab the peacock and carry it under his arm and off to his truck while the other peacocks chased him down.
Also, there were more peacocks. You said Angry Birds.
He stole, the Angry Birds
were
the
other
peacocks. Yeah.
You get my cousin back.
Exactly. He stole a member of their family and they chased him down.
I hope they got the peacock back.
Residents said that despite not liking the peacocks in their neighborhood, they are upset about the theft. They have become a nuisance, but it's
peacocks.
But it's somebody's invading that's not right. The neighbor said. They never found the guy.
That's messed up, man.
But I think he made off with the peacock.
So
while being attacked by the other peacocks.
But he got the peacock.
He got it.
You ever seen a peacock in real life?
Yeah.
They are beautiful, dude.
Oh, I know.
They are beautiful.
I
Especially.
want to say they can be angry sometimes because I remember as a kid I got chased by a peacock.
Where are y'all finding these peacocks? The only place I've seen a peacock was at the zoo.
I don't even remember where it was at. I think it was at somebody's house that we were visiting.
Who?
And he had some peacocks.
What?
Yeah, as a little kid, they were scary. I was like, "Wow, that looks cool," and then they run after you like, "That's not cool no more."
That's not cool, especially when you're a little kid.
Yeah, but in Georgia, code compliance officer was watching too much Bounty Hunter shows when he broke into a woman's house to serve her a ticket for overgrown lawn. The homeowner, I'm gonna leave her name out, caught the whole incident on tape. The officer broke into the home on one early morning and went into her room to demand that she sign the ticket. When she called 911, she was forwarded to the officer's supervisor.
Wait a minute. So first of all, this is in Georgia. Mm-hmm. Again, we were talking, if you break in my house, I literally have the right to put a bullet in your head.
Yeah, he could have gotten shot.
But you gonna cut this damn grass.
you gonna get this grass cut.
I don't care if I get a bullet. You gonna cut that damn grass. I don't even care.
Dude, he took his job way too serious.
Way too serious, man.
He thought since I'm code enforcement, I'm kind of a police officer. I can serve a warrant like this.
Okay, break in my house if you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I don't know, dude.
You're gonna get more than the grass cut.
Yeah, let me stop. Yeah, man, Georgia and Florida has some of the weirdest. The second you mentioned peacock, I'm like, you don't even have to. I already know. I already knew it was Florida, dude.
Yep.
Man, amazing episode, man.
Yeah,
this is a good one, dude. Can't wait to next Tuesday. We'll keep going down the rabbit hole of some of the most insane people in music.
Yeah, definitely.
That's gonna be interesting. And guys, if y'all have any crazy stories from where y'all are from, feel free to send us a quick message down in the.
Yeah, give us an audio clip of you telling the crazy story that you witnessed, or some of your family witnessed, or just a crazy folklore tale from around your town.
Like a peacock being missing.
Yeah, you had some peacocks stolen. Tell us about it.
Let us know. Absolutely, man. Anything else, Smoke Dog?
I guess that's it for this week.
That was a good one, guys. Let us know what's next, well, you know what's next for next
Yeah,
week. I'm so
definitely.
used to saying that with the
Yeah.
reactions. But yeah, guys, thank y'all so much for checking out the Trash Talkers podcast and all the positive reception. With that being said, my name's Barry Hollywood 6 Bars.
I am Larry Smokey Ramirez Cowan.
And we are
over
and
out.
Deuces.